Hey guys, hope everybody's enjoyed their holidays. And right now we're doing a video about when your life is out of control. That's when the Daemon is able to step in and help you put things right. And this video was inspired for me by a movie that my family watched on Christmas Day called The Fabelmans. And I don't know if you've seen this movie or not, but it's a Steven Spielberg movie, and it's autobiographical. It's kind of about his relationship with his parents growing up and the points where they did and didn't encourage his involvement with filmmaking. But the movie starts, and so spoilers going forward. The movie starts with Spielberg's character as a little boy, and his parents take him to a movie. And a big part of the movie is this big train collision. And so he watches it and it makes a big impression on him. And then the next Hanukkah, his dad gives him an electric train set. And so he sets it up in the basement and he starts playing with it. And because of this movie, he feels compelled to crash the train, to recreate the collision from the movie. And when he does this, at one point, it kind of tears up the train a little. And then his dad is kind of upset with him. He's like, this is an expensive toy, and you can't just play with it. You also have to take care of it. And when they ask him why he did it, he says he had to see the trains crash. He had to experience that. And his mom realizes that he's recreating that scene from the movie because he's trying to control it. It was such a scary, uncontrollable moment when he watched the train crash on the screen that he needed to recreate it under his own power so that he felt like he was in control of it. And so his mom has this idea that she takes the family's video camera and she says, we're going to crash the train one more time, and then we can't do it anymore after that because we don't want to break it. So they crash the train one more time, and she films it with the camera. And she says, now you have a video of this train crashing, so you can watch it whenever you want. And so she's showing him the movie, and he's there with her recording it. And you kind of see him come to life when he starts interacting with this camera and watching the film and then experiencing it over and over again. And my brother-in-law actually, when it's happening, he kind of leans over to me and he's like, that's his demonic call. And I was like, yes, it is exactly what that was. It was this moment where he kind of, a part of him came to life when it took part in this act of creation. It's in this act of doing. And so we got to see in this movie still Steven Spielberg responding to the call of his Daemon. But I thought what was important about that moment and what I took from it and what I think is important to take from it is that the Daemon showed up when Steven Spielberg's character felt like something was beyond his control and he wanted to get it back under his control. And I think what was important was that the Daemon showed up when the Spielberg character's life felt out of control and he was trying to get it back into control. And so that's when movie making kind of became a possibility for Spielberg, is when he realized, oh, this is a way that I can take control of what feels like an uncontrollable world. And for all of us, things happen with bills and with family members and with just life in general where things feel like they're beyond our control. And I have found for myself in those moments that if I can kind of shut everything out and get alone and spend some time thinking and creating and working on these videos, making these videos, talking about the Daemon, kind of immersing myself in it, that I start to get back a semblance of control. Now, obviously, it doesn't fix everything. Bills are still due. You still have to go into work at whatever job you have. If you and your wife or husband are fighting, you may still be fighting. But what this does is it creates a baseline of peace that you're able to approach those out of control moments from. And so what I would recommend to someone watching this video is, if right now things feel out of control in your life, what is the act of creation? What is the moment of passion that you have access to that you can fully control? And when you engage in those moments, when you engage in those actions, then you gain a little semblance of control that you can address other things from. And so that's where the daemon comes in and says, yeah, everything's nuts right now in life, but if you follow my leading, if you listen to my call, if you listen to the places that I'm showing up in your life, then you can get some control back, and you can kind of start to organize things under this heading of the daemonic call. And the daemon is interested in those things, is interested in helping you with that, because if your life's out of control, there's no way you can give your gift appropriately. So the daemon may or may not care about you being rich, and may or may not care about you having a supermodel husband or wife, but the daemon does care if your life is under your control to the degree that you are able to produce from that place of demonic inspiration. So if you haven't seen The Fabelmans, totally recommend it. It was a really nice movie, and gave me a lot to think about in terms of this concept. And so the question I'll ask that you can answer in the comments is, what are you called to do? What act of creation, what expression of passion is available to you that gives you a little more control over an out of control world sometimes? Okay, let me know in the comments.